Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
County down one morning in mid-July. Down a boring green came a sweet Colleen. She smiled as she passed me by. She looked stony from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing up, I had to pinch myself to be sure I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. There's no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, I shook my head and I gazed with the feeling rare. And I says I to a passer-by who's a maid with the nut brown hair. He looked at me and he smiled, says she's the jewel of old Ireland's crown. She's Rosie McGann from the banks of the Van, the star of the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. There's no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen I met in the county down. Fair should be surely there, and I dressed in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shine bright and my hat cocked right for the star who's the nut brown rose. No pipe I'd smoke, no horse I'd yoke, till my plough with the rust turns brown, till she sits by my side as my own dear bride, the star of the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. There's no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. There's no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
Yeah! Here we are on Horses Sing None of It. And you're listening, my name is Ralph Litwin, and you're listening to the music of McDermott's Handy, which is Kathy D'Angelo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Dennis Gormley.
How you doing?
I'm very good. How about you guys?
Not too badly.
Great sound and music.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks so
Very
much.
lively and
Unusual for the little rockin' beat with that Celtic stuff in it.
so there's some very interesting biographical information you sent me that said something to the effect that you hired this fella on for a band sometime many years ago, and then kind of hired him on to be your husband.
Yeah, and then he hasn't been able to get out of the band.
Lord knows I've tried. No.
Yeah, we did. We had known each other like briefly, crossing folk music circles late in my college career, and when I started doing the Irish thing after college, I needed a dentist one night, and I called him up and I said, "Come on, I got this gig, and why don't you come and play?" And I knew he played the mandolin in the bluegrass thing, so I said, "How big of a stretch could it be to do Irish music?" So that's how we sort of started that thing rolling.
You'll notice I have no mandolin here.
I see.
Yeah, we've changed instrumentation over the years. I didn't play harp then either, and I didn't play the fiddle.
So you both started in other areas of music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
Old-timey, you were in bluegrass. And
I played bluegrass, folk. I played a lot of string bass for different artists down in the Philadelphia area. Saul Birdie.
Saul.
Yeah, Saul's a wonderful musician, great human being, a wonderful songfinder, and he's been I think 1996 will be our 25th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, even longer than Kathy and I have been together. So and Saul was real good to me, and through him I got to play with some other wonderful musicians like David Bromberg and Vassar Clements, and we played a lot with Steve Goodman. So
Great.
but then
Nice.
I gave it all up for
Irish
for the
music.
call of the Emerald Isle.
But you'll notice that neither one of us are named McDermott.
I did notice that.
Yes, and I'm like
Especially you.
Especially me. I have the O at the wrong end of my name. It's D'Angelo. It's O D'Angelo or something, but O something. And that all came about because early in my folk music, like initiation, I had run into a guy at a folk music party with the guy who used to run the Middletown Folk Festival here in New Jersey, and he played this old man who played the fiddle. And he was sort of like my introduction to music, and his name was Ed McDermott. And I found out that at the time that I was a young wee lassie, I must have been like 17 years old, and I found out he lived like a couple of blocks from where I lived.
Wow.
In Keyport. So I started going to visit him regularly, and then we became fast friends and sort of started performing together like a little bit later on. And, so we sort of do McDermott's Handy in sort of his memory, and it was kind of like our mentor in Irish music.
Very good. We have a picture on the wall. I think maybe Stan's camera can get a picture. Over the Earth Summit, there's a couple pictures of
Ed McDermott there.
Mr. McDermott.
And
one of them has Kathy in the picture there, too.
yeah, one of those is from Ed playing at the first New Jersey Folk Festival, which I ran in 1975. And, since I play with this guy, it was sort of like, well, he's, of course, a premier guy I was going to ask to play at that festival. So when that was 1975, and he died on New Year's Day in 1977. And in that year, the Folk Festival people said, gee, we've had Mac at the festival both years, and he's been such a staple of music in the New Brunswick area. Why don't we do something in Mac's memory at the folk festival in that year? So I got a whole bunch of musicians who used to play with Ed McDermott, who used to dun him for tunes, and sit with him and say, play that again, Mac. And we all got together and called ourselves McDermott's Handy, and we played at the evening concert, and we had this big tribute to him. So ever since then, we've sort of been we did McDermott's Handy in a variety of configurations, and like I said, I wrote Dennis into it, and we've been doing it ever since.
Well, maybe I wasn't listening carefully, but where does the handy part come from?
A handy is it's a set of tunes you name after somebody in their honor.
Oh.
And so McDermott's Handy, so we do this in Mac's honor. And I actually got the name McDermott's Handy from a Gordon Bach record because he had learned a variety of tunes from Ed McDermott. And on one of his albums, he named a set of tunes McDermott's Handy. So that's how I came by the name McDermott's Handy.
Very good. I think we're leading up into some tunes here, aren't we?
We are. What a segue. And Ed was a fiddler, good fiddler from Leitrim. And so we're going to play a couple of his tunes. These are a couple of reels, and I'll try not to. I think I'll turn this way a wee bit. The first one is called Jenny Pick and Cockles. The second one is called The Mills Are Grinding, and these are both tunes that Mac used to play a lot. And And like I said, he didn't play the fiddle while he was alive. I played guitar, which I don't play anymore. I sort of learned the fiddle after he passed away because I felt guilty. You know what I mean? I felt guilty. I didn't do it while he was alive. So that's how I take that up. Guilt is a wonderful motivator sometimes. Okay, so here it comes. This is Jenny Pickencock.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks very much. It takes me a while to get warmed up. Thanks a lot. So those were a couple of tunes. They're actually on our album, too.
We are listening to McDermott Handy, talking with them, and here's a copy of their vinyl album. You don't get to see too many of these days, but I hear that the record companies are getting reinterested in reintroducing vinyl now that everybody's gotten rid of it all. They can sell it again.
Well, that's our final solution, our vinyl solution.
And this is also available on cassette.
Right.
And I think we have the number to magically flash on the screen. And since I can't see the monitor, you're going to tell the people in your best announcer voice what the number to call.
The number to call is 609 area code, because we're in South Jersey, 795-7637. That's us, and that's how they can get a hold of us.
They can find out where you're playing, get on your mailing list, and
all kinds of stuff, right?
Find out how to get a hold of this and so forth.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for coming all the way up from Voorhees,
County Camden.
County Camden. The journey of 100 miles starts with
Right.
packing the instruments into the car.
That's right. That's right. That's the hardest work involved.
Yes,
with playing gigs.
they pay us musicians for packing up and traveling, and then
That's right. The rest
when we
of
get there,
is
it's just we do that for the fun of it.
That's right.
We're going to take a little break for a public service announcement. My name is Ralph Litwin, and we'll be back in a little bit with McDermott's Handy. Uh-huh.
This is a molecule of water in the soil. Water and other molecules are absorbed by this tree root. Inside the tree, the water moves up the trunk, through a branch, and into a leaf. Here, in a leaf cell, the tree uses sunlight to transform water into new molecules called oxygen. Trees and other plants release millions of these oxygen molecules into the air every day. It's the very same oxygen that you and I breathe. Say thank you. Protect the forest.
Hey, my name's Ralph Litwin. We're back on Horses Sing None of It with Kathy D'Angelo and Dennis Gormley, also known as McDermott's Handy. And they're going to help me out with a little tune that I wrote that has to do with a dream I had when I was a kid. And I thought it might sound good with some celestial sounds here. When I was a boy, one night in my sleep, I had a dream that made a story I could keep. I still don't know its meaning, or if it helps me cope, but the images in my dreams sometimes can fill my life with hope. And I see two red moons and a starry sky from a mountaintop of love. An arbor of 8 sides is hovering up above, hung with strange fruits of seasons, the beauty I can see, and a circle of monks with big bald heads, communing cosmically with me. Well, when the dream began, I was shipwrecked on shore with a group of people. There was 10 or more, living in the caves of the cliff that faced the sea. I roamed around the island, exploring, feeling free. Now there was a favorite hilltop where I loved to go. One grand old tree, a grassy field, a place I grew to know. One day I found a pendant there on that grassy ground. Unique design and metal was this object that I found. I knew that this pendant had not been there before, nor did it belong to someone from our group on shore. After all this time here, I had now been shown a mysterious message that we were not alone. There often in the hope that I would find the secret benefactor whose pendant made a sign. Then one night it happened as I waited patiently. The visitors glided up a hill in a circle around me. And I see 2 red moons and a starry sky from a mountaintop of love. An arbor of 8 sides is hovering up above, hung with strange fruits of seasons, the beauty I can see, and a circle of monks with big bald heads, communing cosmically with me. There we have it, there we have it.
It's cool. I always wanted to play with banjo.
Well, you play the banjo.
I know.
Us banjo players have
I've
to
never
stick
usually
together.
do them at the same time, though, harp and the banjo.
I'm sorry?
It's hard to play them both at the same time.
The banjo and the
And
harp?
the harp together, yeah.
Well, no, you just get one of those little harp racks, you know.
I have one of them. So, what else do you have lined up for us here? You want to tell us about the next music?
Yeah, we thought we would do something in Irish. It's not English with an Irish accent. That's it means it means Gaelic. People in Ireland call it Irish. They don't call it. We usually call it Gaelic. This is a love story. It's actually a song of unrequited love, and there's a chorus part on it that goes, "Ma vian tu lum vi lum," as if you were with me. And then we sing "Our story in Mocrio, treasure of my heart." And then we say again, "Ma vian tu lum vi lum," if you were with me. And we say "for all the world to see," but we say it in Irish. And then we sing "Ma vian tu lum vi lum." I'm telling you so you can sing along. And then we say,
Oh, I was supposed to pay attention.
yes, right. And then there's going to be a quiz. You're going to have to sing it. And then we say, "It's too bad I don't have you on Sunday as my wife." And it's just, like I said, it's a song of unrequited love because he doesn't get the girl in the end and doesn't make himself known, actually. So he admires her from afar and never really gets around to telling her. So it's called Kasu and Tugin.
It's kind of like the Irish version of You Don't Know Me.
Okay, let me just do this. I'm going to play this string.
Retuning the harp. You don't get to see this anywhere,
Not
folks.
too frequently. Okay, I'm ready for you. There you go. Agisunya nishikla sidi wakiro na leve sentar na class jaganos de lenede entre class ni fadu becker le moske esfiniki bana my leg. Ma vien tu lam vi lam astori mokri. Ma vien tu lam vi lam ostorati. Ma vien tu lam vi lam kakola gedri. Shame along the fun, not young Jedo, to my vie. Eserina van, the house is in duty, show me. Eskimo Kalinja, Sayo, Widow, again, again. No good costume is Jack, my old shark. Shame lam go fan lat yum jedo itu babi tamo kyan sadia nablian is ni de kina te bari ne brire ne brere se don skele it's time shadi lovely skin fall said it's beaches fair. A harden crew when ya is me to hear that you wear fair. Say the band the far not ya luishin heim. Ma vin to lam bila ma står in mokri. Ma vin to lam bila mo skoro ati. Ma vin to lam bila da kola deti. Shame lam go fan da kam je doni to ma free. Shame lam go fan na klam je doni to ma free.
All right. Really beautiful music.
Yeah, it's nice. It's even when you don't understand the words.
You don't have to understand the words to hear the music.
That's right.
Well, we have just enough time to do that last little number we planned out.
Okay.
And want to thank you for bringing your music to Horses Sing None of It.
Thanks so much for having us,
Kathy,
Ralph.
Dennis.
Appreciate it.
And we'll see you again soon, Kathy, because you're bringing your other friend
My alter ego.
in a group called Harper's Bazaar, and we hope to see you soon again.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Gonna do this song about a girl who goes off to join the Navy and see the world. And of course, she wasn't allowed to do this at the time. But
And what do we call this instrument here? This is quite interesting looking.
This is the bouzouki, which is used more and more in Irish music. So let's go ahead.
unusual combination here. When I was a fair maid about 17, I enlisted in the Navy for to serve the Queen. I enlisted in the Navy, a sailor lad to stand for to hear the cannons rattling out.